Ready. Check Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. That's right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. That's right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though. I said Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yeah, you know it's a go. Okay, I see they going off, but we gon' rewrite it though.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, the first edition in quite some time, another spectacular episode of the Rewriters Room. We are the men with the pen. I am your host, the Paul Heyman of podcasting, the John Cena of journalism, the Brock Lesnar of broadcasting, and the Roman Reigns of rhetoric, Armand Sadler. I'm not here alone. I'm here with my guys. The Shield is reunited, reformed. Fellas, how y'all feeling?
What's good? It's CC, best rapper and producer, whole wide world. Got body because I consume healthy products and do towel curls. Benevolent servant to the earth and philanthropist. And every phrase I say is legit like emphasis. You could put any nigga next to me. Let a bunny hopping ass, egg dropping ass nigga come up next to me. The kids gonna be like, yo, who man's is this? I may talk a lot, only got one thing to say: love yourself and keep going. You are the world. Give all you can. Take care of your body, your people, and your land. Where my nigga Chan?
Hey man, I just been basking, well, not basking in my glory. Hashtag swerving our glory. I have been basking in the mid card. The applause, the accolades. We're getting a lot of our flowers now. So I've just been bathing in that. So it's been good to be back off of the mid card mania tour. It's ready to get back to the grind as us mid carders do. We never celebrate for too long. We are a very work rate is very high in our division. So I'm back to my podcast rate, getting that back up.
Love it. I love it. Well, it is great to be back with you guys. We've been away for a while. I don't think we planned to take this long of a break. I guess like our break was the amount of time the person who we're rewriting was out for injury. But I think that we're coming back bigger and better. We're going to call this the hashtag rewrite after Mania. And hopefully we're going to do a better job than they did for the Raw after Mania. But it's been a really exciting time for the WWE. The last few months, like honestly, us not potting during these last 6 months. Nah, it wasn't 6. We stopped in September. So it's been about, oh shit. No, it's been 6. I'm sorry. Whoa, I'm tripping. Wow. We missed a lot of really good stuff. I mean, War Games, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, everything happening in NXT, a lot of AEW drama. And so we're going to do our best to touch on those things, but also give y'all a little breath of nostalgia, take it back in wrestling times, and bring in some fun voices to help us rewrite some storylines as well. Of course, we got to promote the A Show Network, the A Show with J5 and Meals every Wednesday, every Tuesday if you have the Patreon. The War Report with Cyrus and Quan, that is every Thursday if you're on the Patreon, every Friday for public. Meals brought back Draft Diaries. That'll be on a monthly basis. There's a bunch of content all over the A Show Network and the Patreon. So make sure that you tap in patreon.com/the A Show RNC. Now let's jump into our pre-writes, man. A lot has happened. So there's a lot of things that we can cover, but I want to hear how y'all feeling. Now I'm going to give Channing his flowers. We had our prediction show before Mania, and some of us believes Sheamus was going to win the Intercontinental title. I convinced myself that Drew was going to win it somehow, but Channing stuck to the mid-carder of all mid-carders, someone who transcends the mid-card but has dominated the mid-card. And so, Channing, I'm going to pass it over to you so you can talk about your guy.
It's really fitting that on Easter Sunday, of all days, I'm talking about my Messiah. I'm talking about the man who, as the third competitor, he rose when he rolled the stone back. 1, 2, 3. He was still the Intercontinental Champion. I'm talking about GUNTHER, the ring general, formerly known as Walter. It's just really nice. Actually, I mean, he can go back to Walter anytime. That's totally fine. I don't care. Like, he's that cool. Where it's like you could change your name. It's whatever, dude. Like, it's totally fine. I just am just so proud that like I just remember early on being like, Walter is incredible, bro. Like I just remember seeing him, people being like, you need to watch this dude in the UK. He's like the man. And then I remember watching Walter like one time, like one match. I saw like one chop in a boot. I'm like, yeah, he can do anything. And it's just nice that like as you get older, like people disappoint you, and it's just nice that someone doesn't let you down. Like when you see someone from the beginning, you're just like, yeah, you're gonna be somebody, and it's like, oh yeah, he was somebody. Like Hunter was like, hey bro, like you need to trim up a little bit, and Walter was like, bet. Like he became an animal, dude. Like, and so it's just so awesome to see him wrestle. Just be like I haven't had this feeling since like I was thinking about this wrestling. It's like since like Brock Lesnar. Like, has someone just debuted and been like, no, this guy is different, and then just the guy has just been different every single time, and like that's just how it's just so cool to watch again. Like they're very different wrestlers, like they're very like special in different ways, but that's just how I feel right now. Like I feel like if I was a kid right now, I'd be like, oh, this is must would feel like when Brock Lesnar debuted. Like when like this is the next big thing. Here comes the pain. Like that's exactly what they're talking about. So it's just awesome. Watching wrestle, like the storylines are great, the chemistry is great, the selling is great. Like I just love Gunther. I'm just anything they want to do with him, I'd be down for it. Like he could really do anything at this point, and I'd be like, fine, bring on the chaos.
And I think the great thing, and the thing that I've had to learn and relearn, there's layers to this. Like Gunther is a Triple H guy. Like we've seen that. He came up through NXT, J5 and Meals did the whole breakdown of it. And so when I looked back in hindsight, I was like, of course Triple H is going to give his guy the Mania moment in his first WrestleMania. Gunther being a heel, but being a dominant heel, not someone who necessarily has to squirm his way out of matches. Like he'll just whoop you. Like he'll just get cooked. Like he's just cooking you. It's like there's not as much of a desire to see him lose because one, he's cool, and two, he's not being squirmy about it. Like he's just being dominant. And with your comparison to Brock Lesnar, I think back to how they initially pushed Brock as well. No, but Brock started out as a heel actually, but they gave Brock that, like Brock beat Brock for the title, and then he had that loss at Survivor Series where Heyman screwed him. They turned him face, but he got that Mania moment, beating Kurt Angle. And I think it's like we're people want long title reigns, but then they're always trying to predict when someone's going to lose. And like some of us, like in the Discord and fans, have been victims of it ourselves. Like we're like, oh, Ricochet is going to beat him. Like when Ricochet got that opportunity, like after getting cooked for the title, we're like, oh yeah, Ricochet's going to beat him. He faced Braun. We're like, oh, Braun's going to get it. But it's like you don't get mad when Gunther retains because he's a good champion. Like we have a bunch of good champions, and I'm as much as I love this reign, I'm really excited for when Gunther gets into that world title picture.
Oh yeah,
because just him looking across the ring at Cody, him looking
during
across
the Royal
ring,
Rumble, bro. It was
it was magic.
You're like,
it was
yeah,
magic.
This is something. You've tapped into.
It was magic.
Something. Like this is some Rocky Drago shit. Like this feels like cinematic watching them.
Bro, but then you think about a potential matchup: Imperium versus Bloodline, like spinning off into a Roman Gunther feud. It's just like there's so much you can do with him because he just has good matches with everyone. It doesn't matter their style. His style don't change. His style works with everybody. So it's really great to see the mid card be so prioritized and have a champion like this in the mid card, because they did it with Bobby, but Bobby and Gunther, there's a gap between their abilities in ring. Like that's just what it is. There's a gap, and people got tired of seeing Bobby dominate, everyone who he dominated throughout that reign. But Gunther, the presentation, just everything is clicking. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
It really shows you it sounds bad, but like the value of like true violence. Like I think that's the difference between the Gunther and Bobby. Like Bobby's dominant because Bobby is like physically strong, but Gunther is like because Bobby's muscles look way bigger than Gunther's. But when you just watch Gunther, you're like, it's about to hurt, man. Like it's going to put he heavy handed. Like he about to put the paws on you. And I just want to say, man, WrestleMania Intercontinental title was a main event. John Cena was at the other match, man. if you get John Cena in your match, bro, it's not much better you can do. So I just say, anyone who's like was complaining about the mid card not being on TV, like myself, like you need to also give them flowers. Like you're doing what I asked you to do. Put some respect on the IC and US title. So next we're getting European title back in NXT Europe, and we're cooking with gas, man.
Cece, well, what you got for this week?
Man, it kind of stems from what Shannon was just saying about the mid card, because like people forget, before I forgot what year it is, early 90s. But before, I think it's 1993, I want to say, before Raw started, my parents and some of my older cousins can attest to this. When you watch wrestling, you watch the taped version of what happened at, some place wherever they were, with the backstage promos edited in and all that stuff like that. And then Raw came along, and then, it eventually becomes a 3-hour show. And then, they added SmackDown onto the fact that they have a 3-hour show or whatever. And then there's all these pay-per-views and whatnot. You have to understand how many hours of content, and not only content, but live content that is, or whatever. So you have to get these people who are in the building, interested in what's happening, as well as the people who are watching TV interested in what's happening, and not do it in a way where it's leaning too much towards one way or the other, and it kind of gets everybody at the same time. And then on top of that, whatever it is that you do, that thing has to be entertaining. So like, I always appreciated the mid card for that, because you got to think about the mountaintop. It gets smaller the higher you go up to the mountain. The peak is only but so big, only so many people can fit there, but you got to fill the rest of the time out with entertainment. And with the mid card coming back, that's great, because it brings another thing that I think it's like, almost 2 years ago at this point, that I was suggesting that the WWE maybe bring back, just to see what it would look like, and it's happening. It's the stables, baby. The stables are back. The stables, like, we got Judgment Day, we got LWO, we got Alpha Academy, which is like, even though it's a tag team, to me, I feel like it's kind of like a stable kind of thing going on. Like, you're starting to see like these groups or whatever, but it makes sense when you have this much talent trying to fill this much time. But the other thing that I like about it is, instead of trying to take one person, whether it be, a woman, 2 women having an issue with each other, or 2 guys having an issue with each other, trying to figure out, okay, why would this person not like this other person? I think I said this before. It's like, when it's gang shit, it's just like, oh, you fuck with this one dude over here, like, all right, now it's gang shit, like, now we on you or whatever. And that can spawn so many other different matches. So now you don't have to think, oh, who do I put with the this other person? Because you got these 4 people, you got those 4 people. Do fucking 3 singles matches, 2 tag teams, and then a big, one all together. Boom, you done filled out a month. Like, so I'm glad that we're back. And then, speaking of stables, and I just mentioned this before or whatever, I would like to see this expand a little bit, even though it looks like it's contracting or whatever. But shout out to my boy who may be about to jump ship. But yeah, my other point was Chad fucking Gable. Put some respect on this nigga name. I said it before. I remember watching him. I was like, yo, this nigga doesn't do anything not perfect in wrestling. Like, I'm watching him, I'm like, I'm looking at him, I'm like, your timing, like, no matter who in you're in a ring with, your timing matches theirs, like, you're fitting it. And then what we all saw at WrestleMania, fucking rolling German to Braun Strowman, nigga, and it didn't look like he was struggling that much. Bruh.
He's like 5'6". Like, he's not tall, bro. Like, that, just to be able to lift someone that much taller than you is impressive. Never mind the weight. Like, Chad Gable is not a tall person. Like,
I'm seeing the Kurt Angle comparisons, and I'm like, yo, let this nigga go crazy. Just like Kurt got to have some runs and shit. Let's start giving this nigga some titles here and there. Like, I just need to see it. This is shit. It's too great. Plus, he's great on the mic too. Even his Snickers commercial is fucking funny. Like, come on, bro. Like, but yeah, I'm fucking with my nigga Gable. I want to shoot that boy to the moon. Let's get him involved in a little bit more things. This nigga's hilarious. Everything he does is hilarious. He got a bunch of grown and young people saying shoosh. Like, come on, bro. Like,
speaking of, though, respect wise, also respect to American Alpha, bro. They went hard. Like, they went hard. Like, as a tag team, bro. Like, I looking back on them, like, yeah, they was really, like, they was going hard. Every match they were like full sending. So you should have known that Chad Gable was about that action, but like, American Alpha went pretty hard.
Yeah, it's just Gable. He's another example of finding a character that just works for you, that matches the in-ring. Like, yes, we're all about work rate. We love good workers, but we can all acknowledge Ricochet, for example. The thing that's been holding him back is like his mic work, his character. And even still now, like while him and Braun are amazing, Ricochet is like, he's like, his character is not interesting. It's just, you know, he's going to do crazy shit in the ring. Gable was a babyface in American Alpha with Jason Jordan. They teamed him up with Shelton. So it was clear that they wanted him around, but he didn't really find his niche until he became a heel. And he's been he's on the run of a lifetime. Like American Alpha Academy getting the tag titles last year, completely deserved, like 100% deserved. And even now, they're kind of jobbing out a little bit. Like they've kind of fallen down the pecking order. But Gable's on TV every week. Every single week, you know you're going to hear that shoosh. You know you're going to see him do great shit in the ring. He got a great match with Cody. Like he's great. And I think, you know, it's looking like Otis may go with Maximum Male Models. And if so, I think Gable's going to be perfectly fine as a singles. And I think that's the perfect launch pad to get him into that U.S. title picture. I would love to see Gable versus Theory. I think that'll be fantastic. So I think regardless of what happens, he's found it and he's going to stay exciting for a really long time. And I love it for him because I was definitely an American Alpha mark. Like I loved him and Jason Jordan together. I loved them together. They were fantastic. And then Jason Jordan, you know, went to Raw, got hurt, all that. And Gable was kind of Shorty G, like all that shit. Like they had Gable doing whatever. But now it's like he's doing something that people are invested in and people want to see him every week. So I absolutely love it for him. I'm very excited for it. To get into my pre-write, I won't take long at all. We've talked about this promotion ad nauseum. AEW does not know what they're doing. They are a mess over there. We have truly seen the rise and fall, and they showed how incompetent they are. Tony Khan this past week when they debuted Jay White. Jay White was the hottest free agent in wrestling. There was a bunch of talks. He was supposed to go a bunch of different places. They debut him at the beginning of the show in a match where Ricky Starks is facing some jobber. Like the camera angles are terrible. It's just like the hottest free agent in wrestling. And you don't make a bigger moment out of it. It's similar to when they did Daniel Bryan and Adam Cole. They had them come in within 5 minutes of each other. It's just like, if you have this person who you want to appear as a game changer, who could be a game changer for your company, treat them like a game changer. Like there's just like, you look at the WWE returns, you look at how Riddle returned on Monday and then coming in on Friday and beating up Solo, like stuff like that. The Cody Rhodes return, like there's examples of what you should be doing to make these people feel important. And they did not do that with Jay White. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. He's probably going to end up getting a world title shot in the next like 3-4 months. And it's not going to feel deserved because they don't like, yes, your fans know who he is, but you're trying to attract other people. You have to make this a thing that other people want to be interested in. And I don't think that they treated him the way that you should treat a game changer. And it's not necessarily frustrating. I don't care about the show, but it's just like, damn, they're so fucking stupid. Like, God damn, they're really fucking stupid.
And it's
that's the bad part. Yeah, that's the bad part. Yeah, it's like, it's one, it's an easy problem to fix. 2, you're literally making the same mistake over and over again. And 3, you have so many good examples. I had no fucking clue who AJ Styles was, you know, because I didn't watch, you know, many things outside of the WWE. I had heard the name or whatever, so I knew he was somebody or whatever. But when that fucking music hit, you see Roman looking, and then he comes through, you know, he comes out or whatever, and then the crowd's like getting all pumped or whatever. It's just like, there's just certain ways to present people. Bro, I was watching that shit live or whatever, right? First, I think, yeah, the first guy was already out. The jobbers are already out in the ring. Then Ricky Starks has his thing. Ricky Starks comes in the ring, is literally in the ring for less than 10 seconds, gets up on the top ropes to like say what's up to the crowd, and then Jay White music hit or whatever. And it didn't feel like everybody like stopped and was like, whoa. It was just like, what's happening now? It was like more confusing. Like, oh my God, that was dumb. So dumb.
Yeah. So that company continues to be incompetent. Cyrus continues to get proven right. I'm sorry. I got my shield on. My shield is on. WWE Defense Force is here. Check cleared. So yeah, I'm slandering AEW and I'm praising WWE again. Sorry, Quan.
It's also like, at least for me, it's like it's not even from a place of like, hey, like, I truly wish AEW was better because I love Adam Cole. I love me some Aleister Black, and you just do so wrong by my boys. Like, it's just like you see it on Twitter when you like they'll show a clip of Adam Cole at NXT. It's like he was on top of the world. Keith Lee had both the North American NXT titles. You got Daniel Bryan, bro. And it's just like, what's going on? I just like you. It just don't have to be this way. It is just so sad to see them go out like this, bro. Like, it don't have to be like this.
They have the people who could be carrying their company in purgatory so they can do a MJF, Darby Allin, Jungle Boy. And who's the fourth nigga? MJF.
Sami.
Oh, and Sammy Guevara.
Fam, the ring will be full of, it's going to be a total of 300 pounds in the ring between those four niggas. Like, I'm bigger than them niggas. Like, what's going on, bro?
It's just bad. It's bad. But let's move into our free write. Yeah, I know how the free write works. I've got a question I asked the guys, and we're going to maybe say what we'd like to see, maybe say what we think we're going to see. So, Cece, for you, man, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are two of the hottest acts in WWE and first-time tag team champions. It's crazy that they've been in the E for so long, and this is their first time being tag team champions, and not together, like, period. This is their first time being tag team champions, being the Usos at WrestleMania for the undisputed WWE tag team titles. How long should their reign last, and who would they lose the titles to?
I think their reign shouldn't go anywhere past like Royal Rumble, because I think they both work better as singles. Like, I like them as a tag team, and obviously, they can prove me wrong. I've already liked the little stuff with their back and forth in the backstage segment stuff, where like Sami comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I was just looking at the title." You know what I mean? Just like little stuff like that. It's really funny. But the reason why I say that is I think that what they can do is they can spend the time from now until, the top of next year, helping be like the electricity that gets the tag team division pumped back up. Because it's not like you don't have like a good set of people there. You got a good amount. Street Profits, Viking Raiders, Alpha Academy, Usos are still around. I know I'm forgetting some people. LWO.
Braun Strowman, Ricochet.
Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Imperium, or whatever. We've got tag teams here.
Brutes.
It's just Brutes. Yeah. It's just not like there's no, to me, like one of the things that I saw is like, with the bloodline being what the bloodline is, it felt like tag teams stopped wanting the tag team championship. So like my thing is like, I want KO to kind of like get people pumped about trying to go after the chip in the first place. And once that like kind of gets reestablished, then they can dissipate. But yeah, and then on top of that, just I think they can do a good job of helping people get more shine. But as far as who takes it from them, that's really tough for me. I really can't say. I don't think the Street Profits like necessarily like need it. That would be cool, but I feel like my thing is like I'm not necessarily concerned with who. I'm just concerned with like how and what the story is. I don't want it to be a thing where it's just like, okay, this Monday there's a tag team championship between blah 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 blah, and then like they just change title. Like I want to lead up. I want some struggle on both sides. Like I just want a story. That's all I want.
I feel that. Yeah, no, it's really interesting the point you made. Like the tag team division is possibly the strongest that it ever has been. And it wasn't a holding pattern because of the Usos. So I would definitely like to see like a lot of matchups over the course of their reign. Like, because the Usos ran it back with the Profits twice. They like most of their feuds would go to like maybe like 2 pay-per-views each. But yeah, I would definitely like to see a lot of different matchups. So I agree there. Channing, for you, at this point, Bianca Belair will either lose the title via Money in the Bank cash-in in a multi-woman match or a clean one-on-one to Charlotte Flair. Which of these options do you think or do you want to happen for when Bianca eventually loses the Raw Women's title? Because she's been champion for literally a year, mania to mania. She's beaten everybody. Her only losses came at Clash of the Castle in a 6-woman tag team match, and it took 3 finishers to take her down. And then it was that matchup against Bayley where Nikki Cross hit her with the neck breaker, Bayley pinned her. Like, otherwise, she's cooked Bayley, cooked Alexa Bliss, beat Becky in the rematch. Like, she's been locked in. So, like, which of these options, or really, like, how do you see Bianca losing the title?
It's interesting you say that, and I think the problem is that you're looking for satisfaction, and you forgot about stratisfaction, because she's not beating everyone. And there was one young woman who, when I was watching WrestleMania, saw some juice. I saw some get back, So I don't know. I wouldn't rule out Trish getting that offer, because I do agree with you. The options are very limited, and even looking like NXT abroad, there's like no one percolating who like would really be like crazy fire. Like, I guess like if you gave Bayley the Money in the Bank, she would probably make it funny. Like, she could probably do a good job of carrying the briefcase and like being a nuisance. Charlotte seems kind of like, even with the Rhea feud, I feel like her heart wasn't in it. So I just don't see Charlotte coming back, because even like there was a report she's about to take some time. So I don't see Charlotte doing it. And then multi-man, I don't think there's anyone that like, I think if you do a multi-man, it's to get, I guess multi-woman, it's to get Bianca to feud with someone else, like after, like kind of spin off into like her next feud. And there's really no one who I see that. Like, I think a multi-person makes sense before like the tag belts or for like the Roman belts, because like they're together and you kind of need to just split them up somehow. But I think just for her belt, I definitely think it's going to be either Trish Stratus or the cash-in. And if I had to guess who was going to cash in, I would guess Bayley. But I could see like Becky turning heel again. But like, it seemed like if it was going to be Asuka, they would have done the Asuka thing at Mania. So I can't see it being Asuka at this point. So yeah, to me, I think it's Trish Stratus. But
yeah, the women's division is in a really interesting place. Like, it's strong, and there's a lot of women, but there's really no one believable to beat Bianca. And there's a lot of good women in the NXT women's division too. But I don't know who they could call up and then build up to be believable. Like, if Roxanne gets in that ring with Bianca, bro, I'm like, I love Roxanne. She's amazing. She's amazing. But and I don't think she's turning heel. So like what are they gonna do to make that matchup believable? I don't think Tiffany's ready to come up.
Nope.
Zoe Stark is great in ring, but I don't see it for her.
No.
I really think it's gonna be like, who are the heel women right now? It's all of Damage Control. I guess if Io won Money in the Bank, that would
Io could be cool.
That would be
one name.
Could be cool.
There's one name, guys. She has to turn heel first, and she has to get better at character work, and that has to be the prerequisite. She has to be entertaining and drawing as a heel, but it could be a thing if she can develop that character in in 3 months or so or whatever, and get that up. But Raquel, I've been wanting her to be a bad guy for so long. This like smiling, showing me the back flex shit is stupid. I think she has a lot of potential as a heel. I don't think, if I'm talking like right now, if I said like right now, Raquel should be the one to get offered. No, I'm talking about a Raquel that doesn't exist right now. Like one that, I'm making up, the version of her that would do this. But that is the other one I see. And the reason why is because, even talking about Roxanne, I'm like, Roxanne could get picked up by Bianca with her pinky finger. That woman is like literally the size of her leg or whatever. But when you think about Raquel, and then you think about how Bianca and Rhea is kind of like set up where they're eventually gonna go at each other. It's kind of like a big woman thing, it's like, all right, Rhea's big, Bianca's big. Who else is big? Raquel or whatever. Like, to me, I'm just like, you get a big badass Raquel who got some new juice in her, maybe some new moveset or whatever, a better character or whatever, eventually down the line, no time soon at all, or whatever. But down the line, if that needed to be the call to kind of help switch some things up, get Bianca in a new feud or whatever, that's another possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, I think they've got her set up, right? They got Raquel set up in a really good position to turn and be a monster heel. You look at last year, Liv and Rhea teamed up at Mania for the tag titles, and then Rhea turned on Liv, went right to Judgment Day, had the year of her career. So it's like, and Liv is the perfect tag team partner to turn on. She is the white meat baby face of white meat baby faces. Everybody loves her. Everyone sympathizes, empathizes, want things for her. You have Raquel and Liv lose this title match on people. By the time people hear this, it'll be over. But you have Liv and Raquel lose that match. Maybe, keep trying to get it, and then Raquel gets frustrated, turns on Liv. You got yourself a monster heel. And I think if we look back at the women who have won Money in the Bank, it was Carmella, it was Alexa, it was Bayley, it was Asuka, it was Nikki Cross, and it was Liv. We haven't had a monster woman win the Money in the Bank briefcase. So I think, it's pretty clear that they want to push Raquel in a certain way. So I think if you give her that briefcase, you turn her into a monster heel, and you have her dominate Bianca after a really hard fought match against whoever, like that, you be cooking there. So that's a really good pick, CC. I'm not gonna front. That's a good pick. My last question was, if it's about who we're gonna do our rewrite about. So I won't even ask this. We can discuss it as we do the rewrite. So to get into the main event of our show, we are rewriting Cody Rhodes' return to WWE if he did not injure his pec and take several months off. So as you all remember, Cody left AEW. There were rumblings. He's coming to the E. He's coming to the E. Seth Rollins is an open challenge. Cody pulls up at WrestleMania 38 in Dallas. People weren't hitting the woes like they are now. Like it took the people time to get adjusted to Cody's entrance music, but now the woes are off the Richter scale. But he wins. We got WrestleMania Backlash. He wins again, but he wins by roll up. You have the Hell in a Cell match, the infamous Hell in a Cell match. He tears his pec. He comes in, that shit purple, Seth sticking a kendo stick into it. It's just violence on violence. Cody ends up winning that match, and then he takes several months off. So we are rewriting. If Cody Rhodes did not get injured in that, get injured around that Hell in a Cell match and take time off, what would his journey have been in his first year back in the WWE? Who wants to begin?
I'll go first.
All right, Chan, you got it.
This is coming from someone who, before, AEW, like I said, you heard Cody Rhodes was becoming a thing. So I'm like, let me hit you to see what it is. But I was not some like Cody head. Like that was not my thing. When that man debuted at WrestleMania, like how we were talking about earlier, how you should debut someone, when that wrestling has more than one royal family, I had never heard that before. I knew people liked his like entrance, but I was like, okay, I just didn't check. I thought it was like a Chris Jericho thing where they were singing. I'm like, I don't really like that Judas shit. Like, so you can have it. I heard that. I was like, oh no, this is something. This is major, bro. Like, this is somebody. And then to double down on it like he did at Hell in a Cell, like maybe this is a comic book nerd in me, but it almost reminded me of the scene in Spider-Man 2 when Spider-Man stops the train from falling off the tracks, but he's real beat up. But then he earns everybody's respect. It was like, nah, like you did some real shit today, bro. Like it was like Cody, like after that, that's when the woes were like, oh no, this is the man. Like this guy Cody Rhodes. Once they figured out that entrance, because it was a little iffy. The Raw after Mania, they had his head. I was like, hey, yeah, fix that. But once they figured that out, I was like, this man is major. So for me, let's keep it going. So we have Hell in a Cell the same. Defeat Seth, like we said, doesn't get hurt. I'm going to kind of go chronologically, hitting on the high points of the pay-per-views, but there's some kind of SmackDown work in here as well. In my mind, he goes on both Raw and SmackDown because he seems to do that anyway, so who cares? So in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which is the next major pay-per-view, we replaced Cody with Madcap Moss. And it's so funny we had the trivia for those of you on Patreon because I had this happening and I did not plan this. So Cody's about to win the match. He's at the top of the ladder, about to get the Money in the Bank. What is that? Usos music? What, the Usos are out here? The Usos come, knock the ladder over. Cody falls. Drew climbs the ladder, wins Money in the Bank. At the next SmackDown backstage, Roman pulls up on Jay and Jimmy. He's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you messing with that match? He said, oh, well, Paul said we were supposed to we're supposed to not let Cody win. Like, I thought you told him to do that. And Roman was like, no, what are you talking about? So Roman goes to Paul. He's like, what are you talking about? Why did you send in Jimmy and Jay to mess the Money in the Bank ladder match? And he's like, my tribal chief. I've been in this game for a long time. I know a problem coming when I see one. And the way they're starting to sing this man's theme song, the way he handles your friend Seth Rollins, this is something we need to nip right now. And if he got that Money in the Bank ladder match, it would have been kind of weird. Mind you, this is all also around the time with the Brock Lesnar stuff. So Roman's already kind of iffy on Paul. He's like, you're telling them to deal with Cody. Now Brock's back. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't really like that. While this is going on, Cody feeds with Jimmy and Jay individually with Drew's help. Again, I did not know that they were former tag team champions, but now it makes a lot of sense why they would be buddies against them. At the SummerSlam Last Man Standing match, again, so Austin Theory is not Money in the Bank anymore. Cody comes out, and not necessarily to help Brock, but more so to get back at Jimmy and Jay. So he kind of handles that distraction, but Brock still does end up losing. So that is important to note that Brock did not win. He just sees Cody come down. So a Clash in the Castle, Drew goes straight up to Roman. He's like, I'm cashing in. And Cardiff, we're doing it. Big Europe, big hairy chest shit. Let's keep it going. At this time, Cody has now upgraded to feuding with Sami, the honorary Uso. He's like, all right, I've dealt with the flunkies. Now I'm coming to the honorary Uso. So that is a Cardiff match as well. Now at backstage, after Clash of the Castle, SmackDown after that, you just see Paul backstage just tweaking like, no, like I need you to come right now. Like I don't care what you got planned. I need you to come right now. Like you owe me. I don't care what's happening. You owe me big time. Next scene, Cody's out cutting a promo at the end of the night. Like, Roman, you've been hiding from me. I done dealt with your cousins and your little flunky. It's time for you to see me. Guitar riff. Boom, 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 boom. Apparently, Paul is called in his big favor. He's called in the big Brock. He's like, my tribal chief, I did this for you. We have to get rid of this Cody problem. This cannot stand. So at that point, we have our Extreme Rules. We have Cody v. Brock. Cody wins this one in not chicanery, but I would say a babyface roll-up of some sort, really pissing off Brock. This really upsets him. So at the next match at Crown Jewel, we have a no DQ match. Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes. You know what a slut for punishment Cody Rhodes is. We're saying no less than 10 German suplexes, no less than 10 F5s, both tables broken, Cody's bleeding. There was a sledgehammer, a fake pedigree, a DX chop, and whatever the callbacks you want to think of, they happen, but Brock does win because now he's personally upset. At first, it was like, I'm doing this for Paul, I owe him a favor, whatever. But now that you beat me and you think you somebody, I'm about to take you up top. Decimates Cody at Crown Jewel. At Survivor Series, we have what we had with War Games with Kevin Owens. But during the match, as Roman is about to spear Kevin Owens, the lights go out. Doom, doom. That's all it is. Roman stops. He's like, what is that? Is that Levante Rhodes' music? Doesn't matter. Sami Zayn, Helluva kick. Oh my God, Sami's going to beat Roman. Kevin's going to beat Roman. Sami stops it. Bloodline still wins. Now we're at Royal Rumble. It's been kind of teased. You've been hearing Roman during all his promos, because Roman's a true professional. He's been saying, I can't sleep. I keep having these nightmares. Number 30, Royal Rumble. Wrestling has more than one royal family. He's back. Brock couldn't take him down. Brock's in the ring pissed. Gunther's in the ring shocked. Levante Rhodes comes in at number 30, wins the Royal Rumble, and we're back on track with the regular storyline. I would, because I'm someone who is impatient, I definitely would have had him win at WrestleMania, but I would have somehow worked into the storyline he can only get one belt. Like, I think they've really painted themselves to a corner, and I feel like they're going to have to, at some point, have a babyface either win one or do the whole Keith Lee thing where I win both, but on my honor, I'm going to give one back to the pool. Because I just feel like you have to separate them at some point. And so I couldn't really work that one in, but that would be my post-WrestleMania stipulation, is that Cody only has one of the belts. Now, I think it would be fly if he got the Universal belt and finessed it to be all white. Like, not necessarily like the retro belt, but just all white, kind of like how the women's belts are, but just straight white. Like, I think that'd be so hard, bro. So, like, that's my, like, American Nightmare riff to it, is that he gets, like, the white belt with the American flag side belts with the Nightmare. Like, I talking about. Kids are going dummy for it. And so that's how we end WrestleMania. Raw after WrestleMania is he kind of like he did before. He previews the new belt, and it's his new white belt.
That's really poetic because he brought back the white Intercontinental title. That's
what I'm saying.
Damn, that's
time, no.
That's Shannon, that was amazing.
I was on my
walk,
man. I was on my walk thinking about this because it's like that's what I'm saying. Like the way they have done Cody, it's like when you talk about storytelling, like it's really impressive how they have built him as a character. So it's like they have so much there. Like the injury really like hurt them. But that's how impressive it is still that he was gone for 7 months. Like I was rewriting this, like, oh my, I forgot that he was like just not around because as soon as he came back at the Rumble, it was picked up. So yeah, if you could only imagine all the stuff they could have done with him at that point. Like this is just one avenue. But yeah, I was on my walk and I was like, let me do right by Cody. And Cody can never win straight up. He can never just be a winner. He always has to paint himself into some corner where it's like, if I don't win this match, I can never talk to my brother ever again. It's like, all right, bro, like you can just have a match. And so yeah, I think he'd do something dramatic where he almost wins first and he has to go through this trials and tribulations and finally gets to the mountaintop and wins.
I think one of the greatest things you just did about your rewrite too is that you added you kept like the bloodline having like layers to their thing going on. Because bringing back the questioning whether like you can trust Paul, because it's gonna get to a point like let's say like you have Cody win like at WrestleMania, then Roman's gonna look back and be like, Paul, you did this. Like had you not like
deal with this thing exactly. Exactly, because I feel like that's where the Roman stuff is going. Is that it's going to be the Mad King era, where it's like he can't trust anybody around him because he feels like he already seen started to do it with Jimmy and Jay. It's definitely coming for Paul and Solo. But yeah, he's at one point going to turn on it, and so he's like, yeah, Paul's gonna be the first one. Like, I can't trust you, Paul. You brought this problem on me. I wasn't even thinking about Cody, and now he's on my ass.
In minority impression, yo, that was hard. That was hard.
Thank you.
CC, you up, my brother.
Whew. All right, that was great. I'm mad I gotta follow that, but okay. All right, so to Channing's point, and to what we were talking about earlier with debuts or whatnot, where I started in my research for this is I just went back and I was like, let me watch Cody debut again or whatever. I was right, like the woes weren't hitting that much, but like Seth was like playing on it or whatever while he was in the ring right before Cody's music hit. You could hear it if you got like headphones or if you really listen to it. There's people in the crowd going, Cody. So there were some people there already hoping for that to happen. Even when he like debuted or whatever, and that first woe came out, I heard some people in the crowd already doing the woes. So he already had like a couple people. So I was like, all right, yeah, he really was there. And if you watched like the first 10 minutes of that match, it just made Seth and Cody look so great. Like, and they were so good that Jimmy sounded good as a commentator for 10 minutes. That's how good they were.
That's crazy.
So yeah, so the match happens, Cody wins or whatever. We go through all the stuff. Hell in a Cell happens, or whatever, but without the peck or whatever, Cody still wins. And then, Cody still cuts like the Money in the Bank promo or whatever, saying that that's what he wants. But since he's not injured this time, instead of Seth facing AJ to get in, Cody faces AJ to get in. Because I've never seen this level of Cody and WWE AJ go at it. So I just wanted to do that for myself. They both, and the good thing about that is they both cut like some good promos that are kind of hinting to how they were on the outside and now they're on the inside trying to get to this thing. And it's kind of like a thing where like they're seeing each other. It's kind of a respect, but they got to go at it at the same time. Really good promo. And then Seth tries to cost Cody the match, but he ends up costing AJ the match. And then AJ and Seth kind of have like a thing for a little bit. But then Cody goes off and does his own thing. I think I even gave Seth and AJ like a SummerSlam match with a stipulation. I don't know what it would be, but I think that would be cool. So then from there, Cody's in the Money in the Bank match as well as the other 5. He's taking Seth's place or whatever. It looks like Cody's going to win. He's climbing up the ladder or whatever. The crowd's going crazy. Theory comes through and pushes the ladder over, and then Cody lands on the ropes. And then Theory goes over to where his phone is or whatever. And you thought he just had his phone because he had like his phone in kind of like a bag or like a little case or whatever. And you thought it was just like a thing for your phone. reaches into that or whatever, grabs some handcuffs, ties Cody to the ropes, makes Cody watch as he climbs up the ladder and takes the money in the bank briefcase or whatever. And then he's still that. And I was like, you know what? Give Theory more heat. I want Theory to have more heat. Let's go. So then Cody and Theory kind of feud or whatever. So Theory's cooking them on the mic, talking about how it's clear that Theory's the bigger star. He's so young, he already won Money in the Bank. Cody's still washing paint off his face as a Stardust kind of reference and shit. Like he cooking this nigga. and then Cody Theory at SummerSlam for the Money in the Bank contract. Cody's like, fuck it. If you're really such big of a star, put that contract up. So then they have a match for the contract at SummerSlam. Cody wins, but he wins by DQ because Theory got frustrated and used the briefcase to hit Cody. Now, because he won by DQ and not pinfall or submission, he doesn't actually get the contract because that was the only way to get it. So he still wins or whatever, but it doesn't work. And then Theory still does what he does later in the show with the contract and everything. So then after that, or whatever, Cody's like, all right, that didn't work out or whatever. And at the same time, this is when we have the whole U.S. title stuff going on. So, Ciampa ends up winning the right to challenge Bobby Lashley. And Cody's like, you know what? Let me, on the way to getting that thing, let me go get this thing kind of thing or whatever. Because as you're starting to see here, he's trying and it's not quite working out. So Cody interrupts Ciampa and Miz during the promo, when they're talking about the Lashley match. And he's like, listen, Ciampa, you want to have a little match to see who actually gets to go up against Bobby or whatever. And then Cody beats Ciampa clean or whatever. And then he gets the cage match with Bobby that, Miz actually had. So like we just replacing Cody with Bobby in a cage match. And as we said, Cody's a glutton for punishment. So Bobby whoops that nigga ass in a cage or whatever. But Miz and Ciampa end up coming and they cost Cody the match. So damn, didn't get it again or whatever. So from there or whatever, we're heading into Survivor Series. Theory's like, you know what? I want that U.S. title. Seth is trying to go after the U.S. title or whatever. They have the 3-way at Survivor Series. They announce everybody or whatever. And right before the bell, the ref goes to ring the bell. You just see him on the side of the ring because Adam Pearce is kind of talking to him. They're like, what's going on? Adam Pearce gets a mic or whatever, and he's like, I just wanted to announce that this is no longer a triple threat match for the U.S. title. There will be no triple threat match for the U.S. title. And then the fans are kind of disappointed. Obviously, Theory and Seth are kind of disappointed. And he says it's a fatal 4-way. Boom, boom, wrestling. So now you got a fatal 4-way with Cody, Bobby, Seth, and Theory at Survivor Series or whatever. Through the chicanery, Theory still wins the U.S. title. He goes on to do what he does or whatever because Seth, Bobby, and Cody are all too distracted. There's history between all three of them now. Cody and Seth have had their thing. Cody and Bobby have had their thing. So there's a reason for them to get all tangled up. So that happens. He doesn't win. So this is 3 times in a row where, he's gone after something and, it's not like he straight up lost or whatever, but he still didn't get what he was going for. So, he starts to doubt himself. He cuts a promo on TV where he's like, he just needs to think about, whether he was really going after the right thing. He kind of needs to get his priorities straight and figure out what he should be doing or whatever. So you don't see him until number 30. Boom, boom, wrestling. So he comes in at 30. Wins the Royal Rumble or whatever, and everything stays the same or whatever, except for when Roman's giving that promo about the titles or whatever, and he said, "Have you ever won this one? Have you ever competed for this one?" And then he goes "You couldn't even get the U.S. title. You couldn't even get a contract to get my title." Whatever, he's going stupid on him or whatever. And then from there, I still have him lose at WrestleMania because then at that point, you want to see him win so bad that you really hate Roman at this point. At this point, you're like, listen, Cody needs to win something. So from there, he kind of starts to have a run, all leading all the way up to the next, round or whenever it is he ends up taking it from Roman or whatever. And it's he came in on this high, really had a really low peak, came back up again or whatever. Instead of having it be a thing where you rise up and kind of go down, I have him kind of going down the whole time to come all the way up or whatever. Because that was the thing, with him losing at WrestleMania, it was like, you came back, you faced Seth, got injured, and then Royal Rumble, and then you immediately went to Roman. Where was the hurdle in that? So I give him, my idea was like, give him some hurdles. Let's mix him in with all these different people, have him actually have some adversity and not really get it, so that when he does get it, it really feels super earned.
I'll tell you, man, wrestling Twitter would love that. Would love that. The adversity. Niggas wanted to see him lose before he got the Roman match. So wrestling Twitter would have absolutely loved that. From my rewrite, man, this is I spent a lot of time on this. So everything happens similar up to Hell in a Cell. He beats Seth. And then if you remember the Money in the Bank promo, Cody was in the video. He said, this is for a main event opportunity at WrestleMania. So the winner of Money in the Bank is guaranteed a main event spot at WrestleMania, as opposed to it being the cash in anytime. You're guaranteed a main event spot at WrestleMania. So keep that in mind. Cody Rhodes wins the Money in the Bank and reveals he cuts his whole promo. I don't care who it is. This is my destiny. I'm going to face the undisputed Universal Champion at WrestleMania 39. Now, remember, Roman's on a very limited schedule in 2022. He defended the title against Brock at SummerSlam, Drew at Clash. He had a match with Riddle on SmackDown for the undisputed titles. That was it in 2022. So with no world champion as present, the Money in the Bank becomes a de facto title, and Cody's defending it all throughout the year. So if you remember, Drew and Sheamus had a match to determine who would face Roman at Clash at the Castle. Drew wins. So Clash at the Castle happens. Sheamus comes out angry as fuck. He's like, yo, Cody, I want to face you for that main event opportunity at WrestleMania since I didn't get my match against Roman at Clash. So Cody comes out. He's like, okay, you and I can have this match for the briefcase, but only if it's man versus man, meaning the brutes are barred from ringside. Sheamus agrees. Cody wins. Now, I'm sorry, that was SummerSlam. Sheamus calls out Cody at SummerSlam, not Clash. In the weeks leading up to Clash, The Miz calls out Cody. He's like, hey, man, you came from outside of the company. You got all this momentum. You're sitting on a guaranteed main event opportunity at WrestleMania, something I did and I won. I beat John Cena. And let's not forget, when you returned, you came on Miz TV and you embarrassed me. So now I'm going to embarrass you and take that briefcase from you. Miz attacks him a bunch of times on his matches during Raw. Cody, dramatic as ever, gets up from his last time being jumped. He says, you know what, Miz? I will defend the briefcase against you at Clash of the Castle. So Cody does it. He beats Miz. And this is earlier in the show. He's backstage, getting treatment. And then Roman pulls up on him. They have a whole backstage interaction. And Cody's like, good luck tonight. Like, I would love for it to be you at WrestleMania. But remember, everyone thought Drew was going to win, or maybe not everyone. I did, and some other people thought Drew was going to win at Clash. So he's like, good luck. Like, you might not win tonight, but I really do hope it's you. So obviously Roman beats Drew. And then leading up to Extreme Rules, there's no one coming after Cody. Cody has, one-on-one matches on Raw, blah, blah, blah. So he says he's going to do an open challenge for the Money in the Bank briefcase at Extreme Rules. At Extreme Rules, Brock Lesnar comes out. He attempts to take out Cody Rhodes, but he's stopped by Bobby Lashley, the United States champion. And obviously, this plays into 2 days after Extreme Rules. Brock comes out, costs Bobby the title against Seth Rollins. So leading into Survivor Series, Bobby Lashley turns full heel and calls out Cody for not helping him fend off Brock after Bobby helped him when Brock was trying to beat him up. Cody says that, hey, that's you and Brock's problem, but if you have a problem with me, you could fight me at Survivor Series for the briefcase after you're done with Brock at Crown Jewel. Bobby loses the same way to Brock at Crown Jewel as he did, but he beats him up after to stay strong. Survivor Series, Bobby's whooping Cody's ass. Like, it looks like Bobby's about to win the briefcase. There's like, everyone was excited for Bobby. They're like, yo, like he's finally gonna, get back to the world title, blah, blah, all this. Brock comes out, whoops both their asses. It's a no contest. Brock gets suspended. Then at the Royal Rumble, Cody and Bobby face in a steel cage match so they can keep everybody out. Cody wins, but Brock beats him up after. The cage comes up, Cody's celebrating, holding the briefcase. Brock comes, whoops his ass to set up a match between them at Elimination Chamber. The Royal Rumble later that night, Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble. So then we get Elimination Chamber. Cody, no, I'm sorry. But Brock beat up Bobby after the steel cage match. Not Cody. Cody wins, he gets to go away. Brock beats up Bobby. Bobby and Brock have their match Elimination Chamber. At Elimination Chamber, it's like the last chance, the last opportunity. Drew McIntyre didn't have a match that night. So he calls out Cody. He's like, yo, man, like, I was supposed to win at Clash. I need this main event match against Roman Reigns. I need to finally beat him. I haven't beat him. Like, I need this. Cody gives him the opportunity, but Cody wins at Elimination Chamber. This sends Drew McIntyre on a full spiral, and he turns heel on Sheamus. This sets up their title match at WrestleMania, Gunther, Sheamus, Drew, but Drew is a heel this time. So for WrestleMania now, we have Cody Rhodes, who has a guaranteed main event spot, Seth Rollins, who won the Rumble, has a guaranteed main event spot, and Roman Reigns is still the undisputed Universal Champion. Triple H has this announcement on Raw. He's like, Roman Reigns has been dominant as the undisputed Universal Champion, but we do need to have a world champion on each show. So what we're going to do at WrestleMania is an elimination triple threat match. The first fall is for the Universal title. The second fall is for the WWE title. So Seth, for weeks, tries to get Roman on his side so they can get rid of the Cody Rhodes problem. Cody's an outsider. Cody hasn't worked as hard as those two. Those two have been carrying the company. And Roman's like, yeah, like we can work together. We can get rid of Cody, and then you and I can have it out. Because everyone wanted Roman and Seth to run it back after Royal Rumble 2022. So this is giving the people what they want. So WrestleMania comes. Roman and Seth work together. And they actually beat up Cody to the point where he's stretchered out of the match. So then it's Roman and Seth left. Seth is gloating. He's celebrating. He's finally gotten over on Cody. Seth turns around. Roman spears him, retains the Universal title, and eliminates Seth from the match. Everyone thinks that the match is over because Cody got stretchered out. So Roman is celebrating, holding up both the titles. Solo is next to him. Paul's there. Cody's music hits. He comes out with a kendo stick, whoops Solo Sikoa's ass, completely gets rid of Solo Sikoa. So then it's Cody and Roman left for the WWE title. Cody's got bandage all around his waist. Like he's fighting like Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30 when Daniel had the match with Triple H and then he had to face Batista and Randy. Like it's the baby face of all baby faces, hurt, beaten down, wounded, bloody, but with no one to interfere, Cody wins the WWE title. He does right by his father's legacy. He does what his family could never do. He has that really big moment, which is, as much as time has passed and I understand why they had Cody lose at WrestleMania 39, I still think that he should have won. So he's going to win in my story. But the biggest thing here is he's working the entire year, and he's got to run through some tough competitors while he's holding the Money in the Bank. He's got Sheamus, Miz, Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar is kind of there. But you remember, like, in my story, Brock and Cody never have a match. Brock is just interacting with him. That's because Brock is going to be his first feud after he wins a title, the WWE title. And then later at SummerSlam, Cody and Roman have a match for the WWE title only. Roman is still Universal Champion at that point. Cody ends up retaining successfully. But yeah, man, I think like you can give him adversity without him losing. Like he won the Money in the Bank, but he had to earn the WrestleMania main event by keeping it throughout the year and going through all these tough opponents. So that's my rewrite, man.
Damn, that was good.
Two things, bro. The way you did the Money in the Bank, they'd have to do that because they've done it where it's like they never fight for it or someone fights for it one time. But to make it almost like a title is, bro, that's inspired, bro. Because then it becomes a thing where it's like you fighting for your right, like you fighting for the right to like keep. You're not just like walking around keeping it, and like so it makes it much more dynamic, and also it makes losing it seem less bad. Because the thing is now is that no one really loses it. So if you lose it, like you're like Otis. Whereas if it was just like a title, people lose titles all the time. Secondly, bro, the way you had that match with the two falls for each of the separate belt. Incredible.
I need it.
That has to be how it's this, especially with the like stipulation where at the end of it is like Roman has already won one belt, so Cody's just trying to win the other one, and like their face like that. that's like next level shit, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
such a good idea. They need to do because it's perfect because it keeps Roman strong and it keeps him with one belt, but it also gives you the Cody v Roman for the belt that Cody can win, and so they both can look strong. And it has like the two fall is so different too. Like I've never heard of that, so it's such a cool way to like, especially how you did it, where it's like he wins one early, so that's kind of out the way. Where it is really just about the WWE title now. Like that has to be how it happens. Like that's incredible.
And then the heat that goes on Roman for him and Seth fucking Cody or whatever sent to the back. So at that point, you're thinking like, oh, if Roman beats Seth, then he still just has champion. Both titles. Yeah. But then when he comes back and you realize, oh, he can lose the one now. It's like, woo! Oh man, I like that.
it's like having a mid-match Undertaker return. Like he like, oh my God, you could do this during the match. Like he's like, it's like yeah, I thought the match was over. It's like how they did, was it where Sheamus won Money in the Bank, where he won the title with all that confetti. You thought it was just done, and he came out of nowhere. It's like that, but like more dramatic because it's like by what you know, because you've never seen a match like this. You just assume it's over. If he's acting like it's over, it's over. And then you have a return mid-match.
And it still sends Roman into a spiral because we got used to the visual of him holding both titles for a year. He loses one of them. He can only be on SmackDown now as Universal Champion. So he's got like his rights have been like taken away. Like he went from a premium subscriber on Spotify to a free trial guy. Like you got to hear these ads. Like
also November Survivor Series.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole poster.
Yeah,
Roman v Cody too.
And a big thing is because he turned on Seth in the match, you can have Cody Brock for the WWE, immediately spin off into a long-term Roman and Seth feud. Because again, that's what everybody would have wanted. So they worked together to give the people what they wanted at Mania, but then Roman turns on Seth because Roman is a selfish nigga. So now,
and then that mirrors Seth turning on Roman.
It's beautiful. It's incredible.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
It's incredible. Like the way you set that up, it really is work. It's a work of art. Like that's the type of shit where like if they play that out on TV, bro, the shock of seeing like, because it's like you have the satisfaction of like the mini shield. You're like, oh my God, Roman and Seth are working together. Like it's so like you're happy about that. Then you're like, oh my God, but Roman's still bad. Oh, it's annoying he won. Oh my God, Cody's back. Oh, it's like you're just the emotion. It's like, bro, it's Shakespeare.
And you have to ham it up by actually having Roman do the fist bump with him before 100%. Mania.
He has to like smile and do it, and like
they have to do the fist bump. Like to be honest, they have to do the power bomb to Cody too.
100%
during the match. They got to do the power bomb too.
Armand, you know what you also said,
and Roman have to power bomb all three of them.
Yes. You know what you also set up, because when Roman turns on Seth basically becomes a babyface that point. And if we remember who's still a heel, oh my God. Drew and Cody used to be tag team. Seth and Roman used to be together, but now Cody and Seth can tag team to go up against Roman and Drew. Whoa, shit. That would be crazy.
It's dynamic, bro.
Honestly, if we're taking a Galaxy Brain, we might as well do a winners take all match: Cody, Seth versus Roman and Drew. Like we might as well just take it there too.
Just mega power shit. Just every belt in the match, bro. Like it's incredible, bro.
Yeah. That was
oh my God, Bobby and
truly, bro.
It's like it's layers. It has layers.
Yeah, like he just keeps going up in his opponents. Like I definitely felt like a genius doing that. I'm not gonna front. I felt like a genius.
You can have the payoff of like when Roman finally acknowledges Cody, like, nah, you beat me. Like when Roman finally acknowledges someone, and he's like, no, respect, Cody beat me. Like, like at that point, Cody can just retire because he's done it. Like if Roman actually acknowledges him, like post Survivor Series, it's retire, bro. You've done it, bro. You've done it all. You started your own wrestling company. You've done it all. There's nothing. It's downhill from here, bro.
Absolutely. So, man, we came back with a banger for y'all. We're starting off hot with these rewrites. Like I said, we got a fun season planned. It's good to be back. You're going to hear some new voices on this show as well. And I mean, you know, will this Cody situation play out the way we all wrote it? Probably not. But as much as it was a disappointment, and the crazy thing for me finding out Cody lost is because I was at Dreamville Fest, so I couldn't watch WrestleMania live. I made the mistake of checking Twitter, and someone was in my mentions. They just dropped a GIF of Roman holding the titles. I'm like, fuck, no. How did this happen? No. And then I watched the match. I'm like, oh, this was an amazing match, as I expected. I expected it to be an amazing match. It's just the way it happened, man. It's like, I get it. You know, we've talked about it ad nauseum for the last week. I understand they want to give Cody adversity. They want to build him up more. All that, like, you know, he really only feuded with Seth, then he left and he came back on the Rumble. Like, I get it, but man, it was really the perfect moment,
and it was right, and you saw it too. It was like, oh, this is it. It's happening.
So they have their work cut out for them in how they keep him busy for the next 3 months till SummerSlam, or the next 8 months till Mania, if like depending on when they want to do the moment for him. They've got their work cut out for him. I don't. People think Cody's never going to be this hot again. I feel like it's just a matter of the booking. Like, Cody's going to be hot regardless. It's a matter of him performing and how good the booking is. And I've got faith in Triple H. So it's really just a matter of when they choose to do it and how we get there. But I think starting with the Brock feud is the right way to go.
Just don't break another throne again, nigga.
That was funny, honestly, because kind of like you, I didn't watch it live, but I watched it I woke up, but I watched it before like breakfast, like the next morning on Monday, and I remember watching it being like, oh, like damn, like you lost for real. Then I got on Twitter because I stayed off it, and I was like, Triple H got his link back. That's funny. Like, that's really funny. That's really funny. People being like, yeah, you thought shit was sweet.
Yeah,
never forget, my friend.
And it's similar to Gunther, obviously different because Roman's been champion for the last 3 Manias, but it's like you solidify the reign even more by having him crush Daniel Bryan and Edge's dreams, have him defeat the monster that's been chasing him for the last 5 years, Brock Lesnar, and then you have him crush Cody Rhodes' dreams, and they made us believe it. They made us believe it. Like we all really wanted it, but they did so well making us believe this is going to happen. Cody's going to do it. And so, you know, it's again, it's like, do I want to see Roman lose a title? Do I want to see a new champion? Yes. But when a champion is this good, still interesting, you know, I'm not mad at it, Triple H. I'm not mad.
Last thing I'll say on it is I think the Roman problem, when I say I want to be a new champion, it's not really even a Roman problem. It's a thing he's beat everyone. So I'm like, well, who's he going to face now? Because at this point, it's not he's done anything wrong. It's just like, well, you beat everybody, so I assume somebody else got to be champion now. But like, that's a testament how good of a champion is. It's like, it's nothing he's done. He's still a great champion. Every time I love it. Like when he won, I was like, oh, that would have been cool to see Cody win. But like, not mad, Roman's champion. Like, Roman's cool. Like, even especially the like, y'all look like some idiots now. Like the way he was talking his shit, it's a lot of stunned faces.
Yeah.
That is a good champion, bro. Because he was ready to double down immediately, bro. Loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Rewriters Room. Of course, tap into the A Show, tap into the War Report. Just subscribe to the Patreon to hear our full trivia segment, patreon.com/the A Show RNC. And of course, make sure you have a great week. We will be back with you all really soon. Rewriters out.